Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This is a product that maybe doesn't warrant a full review, but we really did either like it or dislike it, and we wanted to show it off. In this case, this is the Tiffen Steadicam Curve. Now, it's designed for people who use GoPros. I could lock in this handle here, and this looks just like a mount, right? So this allows me to have a nice steady platform for me to mount my GoPro on, and it uses the standard GoPro mount, so it doesn't matter if it's a 2, a 3, a 4, or the original GoPro. It will work with pretty much all of them. It's got a couple of different adjustment points. It's got this lever in the back here that allows me to adjust the camera forward or back. It also has a level in the back here that allows me to add weights so that I can properly balance my camera, and then I can adjust it to the left or to the right so that my camera will balance off. But here's where the real magic comes in. If I release the handle, it makes this whole arm a Steadicam attachment. Now, it's very tricky to use. I mean, you do have to balance it in. In fact, right now, this GoPro isn't properly balanced. As you can see, it's kind of leaning to one side. So I'd have to put a bit more time into putting the weights in and making sure that this will go properly. Go ahead and show the overhead, Brian. The way you're supposed to use this is use either one thumb or, more preferably, to use the other hand to stabilize it so that as you move, this camera is going to stay on an even keel and it will smooth out your shot. Go back to the wide. In practice, this actually does work. It looks kind of strange. It feels kind of strange. It is difficult to learn because a lot of us, when we think of a Steadicam, we're going to think of like a gimbal, which uses electronics and some gyros and accelerometers in order to keep it steady. This requires a light touch. If you hold it too hard, what's going to happen is the camera is just going to jerk along as if you were just holding it by hand. And if you hold it too light, you've lost it. So it does require a lot of practice. Now, what I do like is the adjustability. I like the fact that it's going to work with a very popular GoPro platform, and I like the fact that it is so small. This thing does travel quite well. This is metal, this part here is plastic, but because it locks in like this, I can put this in my bag without worrying about fracturing it or destroying it in the rigors of my regular travel. The other thing I really like about this is that they've really made it for the people who are going to use it. In other words, if you're using a GoPro, it probably means you're out and about, and it means that you're going to want something that's not so big, like one of those Steadicam rigs, that you can't practically carry it with you, or not so flimsy that you're going to have to worry about bringing it on your next mountain climbing trip. Now, whether or not this works and works for you is really going to be dependent on whether or not you want to learn the touch, because it is going to take that tender touch to get this to give you that smooth shot. But once you get it down and once you figure out exactly how hard you should be holding down the mount on the top, this does give you butter smooth shots. In fact, I would put this up against some of the mechanical gimbals that I have that cost 4, 5, 6 times more. Now, this is about $60. You can find this on Amazon. This again is called the Tiffen Steadicam Curve. Looking around at some of the other options, it's not necessarily the easiest to learn. I won't even say it's necessarily the best. But at $60 for something that is quite competent, that has a lot of adjustability, that includes everything from extra weight so that you can balance out different cameras to this universal mount so you can use every type of GoPro and GoPro clone, I have to give this a solid try. Hey, Brian, what do you think? Is this something that you'd want to use on your off-road adventures?
Yeah, I like the idea that it seems like it's pretty portable, pretty rugged.
It does, yeah. See, it takes that. Once it starts going off, it's ooh, I don't know what I'm doing. But you kind of have to hold it. So it is a two-hand operation. But as you can see, I mean, it really does kind of smooth out the motion, and you notice it when you're recording.
Yeah, I'd have to play with it. $60 is probably the top amount that I would pay for something like that before looking at something else.
Yeah. Someone in the chat room is asking if this will work with a point and shoot. No, this is designed for a GoPro because it needs to be something that's small and something that's light. You can balance this back and forth, but anything that's not in the format of a GoPro, I'm afraid it's just not going to work with the Steadicam Curve.